Hey everybody. We were just on Facebook. Now we are on Instagram, obviously.
Yes. Instagrizzles.
We're on Instagram.
Wait.
And so
I'm not going to say that twice.
We're going to spend a few minutes here with you guys, and we're going to look for your questions. Please throw us your questions, and we'll try and answer them. We're here at the back of the bus, on the road, the String Theory tour, and today, String Theory came out.
Yes.
So you guys can finally officially hear it, alone, by yourself, not in a crowd. Or together.
Yeah. I mean, you can listen to it with friends if you would like.
Or alone,
it's
by
not
yourself.
required that you listen to it alone, though I will say...
I listen to it alone by myself and cry.
Yeah, he does a lot of things by himself.
Crying.
I will say listening to String Theory on headphones might be the best Hanson album on headphones. As far as the stereo...
Oh, yeah.
And for those of you guys that already know this, I'm sorry for telling you again, but the instrumental album is one you can only get on HansonNet, and that is also something that I think
Taylor,
is really cool about
tell
this
us
project.
about the instrumental album.
So the instrumental album is available through our special package.
Does it have a special name?
Yeah,
it's called A Piece of String?
It's called A Piece of String.
Right, get it?
A piece of String is available with the packages. You guys should really get our package. It's great.
Mike's dying over there.
Okay.
Okay. How about some questions? Listen to headphones on it. I haven't loved it. You guys see those
You should
questions?
tell them the questions. Just write them right there. Just write them in there, the comments right there.
Oh, and they... Yeah, okay.
It's
How
right
do you
now.
choose the orchestra per city? Did they seek you out or do you seek them? That's
It's
a
a
good
mix
question.
of actual named orchestras, so the Atlanta Symphony or the Nashville Symphony,
Or
and
National Symphony.
or the National Symphony, and then it's also we use a contractor who helps us put together local musicians from each city. So tomorrow in Boston, that'll be an orchestra that's put together for the show, and Philly as well. So.
And also, once we decided we were doing the project, we reached out to a lot of known symphonies as well and said, hey, what do you think of this project? And that was one of the first things that gave us confidence to do the project.
Somebody said, how
great
old
feedback.
are you? Taylor, you want to give them a...
How old am I?
Yeah, just Google it. Though somebody asked me about more shows. They were saying, will you come to Detroit, play with the Detroit Symphony? And, I mean, obviously, if you want us to play with your local symphony, you could always contact them and say, bring String Theory.
So
bombard them
one
with
question
Facebook
was,
questions or messages or something.
Okay, we're going to keep looking for questions.
Why has it been so long since we've been to Sweden? Well, we're afraid of coming home. Wait, no, we're actually Danish historically, and we'd love to come back, so we should make that happen. Do you have any tattoos? Only tattoos of Taylor's name on my butt cheek, left cheek.
Yeah. I plead the fifth.
Okay. Zach owes me his drumsticks. I owe you nothing. Stop stalking me.
Can you perform a miracle and find a way for you to go to Boston show tomorrow?
Where
do
do
have a
you
teleportation
live?
device that we
I
can...
feel like it wouldn't be a miracle.
Yeah.
Would it be? I mean, if we bought her a ticket or
I
something.
think it's more how much of a miracle it is based on how important it would be to her. Like a miracle in the sense of how positive it would be versus how impossible.
Like this, okay.
Yeah,
Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Talk to him. We'll do
Plans for
it.
South American tour. Let's just be straight up about this. We have looked at symphony shows in Latin America. We absolutely want to come.
We've tried very hard.
But honestly, the idea
Exchange rates,
of doing things there is the economics and the schedule will make it very hard. But we do love being in Latin America, and we look forward to seeing you guys.
Well, and one thing about the String Theory show is because so much of it is charted, it doesn't mean that this will be the last time we play it. It could, there are already some shows for 2019 that are set up, and we do want to take it to other places like Scandinavia and Latin America. So it's possible that'll happen in the future. We'll just have to see.
So what questions we got here? Chattanooga Symphony. That sounds interesting. We could do that sometime.
Come back to Brazil. Yes. Which song has been your favorite to perform live so far?
Is there still time to buy tickets for Boston? Yes, there is.
Yes.
In fact, Boston, Philly, and New York concerts all still have some tickets available.
Yeah.
And
there are very few left, so if you want to go to those shows, you better act quick.
Well,
they are
and
almost
if you want to, even after the show, I'll accept direct payment for a ticket to the Boston show that happened the day before, the week before.
Okay,
if
and
you just want to pay me directly.
Special shout out to Toronto, one of the only cities. Well, actually, it is the only city
In Canada?
in North America that we're doing two shows back
Yes,
to back.
and it is the only show in Canada.
Yes,
Yes.
so those shows are going to be great. So
Do
Boston,
you mean
Philly,
that metaphorically, like it's the only show in Canada worth seeing, or do you mean it like it's the only Hanson show in Canada on this tour?
I mean both, because that's the kind of person I am.
Okay.
Are we coming back to Halifax? Not unless it's summertime. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Love the show in LA. Thank
Are
you.
checking in?
I love Nova Scotia, by the way. That was really, really fun.
We are looking at String Theory album sales, but not because...
Any Christmas shows this year?
No. Well, we're doing a little acoustic show.
Oh, yeah, but
on
I'm
the
not
9th.
sure that's really a Christmas.
We'll probably play some Christmas music. It's in December.
My shirt says...
Can you read it backwards? Adult-ish. Adult-ish. How do you feel about selling out the iconic Sydney Opera House?
We are very proud to be playing Sydney Opera House, and it's very cool that we've got one already sold out, and the other one is well on its way. So it's going to be great. We always love playing Australia.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting to bring these shows to.
And it has to
that
be
country.
the most iconic music venue in the world.
I think they say that maybe the most iconic single building in the world.
Right, most recognizable.
Yeah.
Do a songwriting contest with fans. You're going to have to explain that a little more. That could be scary.
Mostly because they have to spend time in a room with us.
Yeah, well, that and
we can be really opinionated.
Oh, yeah, we would lose a lot of
There was
fans.
a question: how was your weekend? The weekend starts tomorrow. Maybe you mean last weekend.
Last week was good for me.
Yeah, it was good. Good
Yeah.
weekend.
Does Zach sell his art? I do. Usually Hanson Day do a gallery every year at that event.
Zac Hanson original paintings are cool. I like them. I bought all 5 of them.
She loves the work with the orchestra. Cleveland show was amazing. Thank you. Any more Christmas dates coming? I think 2019 could see some Christmas dates.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously not this year.
It's pretty much time for you to put on Finally It's Christmas or Snowed In. Other than the fact that String Theory just came out, I think you could put all 3 of those on just the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and quick little shout out. A buddy who's got a great Christmas record out, JD McPherson. Check that out. It's called Socks.
Oh.
It's kind of awesome. And also our bro has a record out. Joshua and the Holy Rollers is the record. And
Our
truly
brother.
produced
Our
and
brother.
engineered it.
When he
So
said
it's fun.
bro, he doesn't mean like Brahim.
It's actual
He
brother.
actually meant brother. Our
youngest brother.
Our brother, his name is Mac, first name Joshua, third
definitely
name
check that out.
Sly Dog.
Slide.
Okay, let's see. We need to look at these questions. Something about why didn't you wear costumes on Halloween? We did. We went as dads. Everyone on stage was a dad. Okay, what should I
What should you
order
order
at
at
Olive
Olive
Garden? For the endless breadstick bowl.
Salad and
It's been
breadsticks.
so long since I've been to Olive Garden. I feel like I wish I had a really great response to that. Failed in life. Okay. We all know about your siblings. Blah blah blah. Will you give me Hanson Christmas ornament because you guys rock?
Let's see if we can pause and actually answer one of it. But let's see if there's a question that's answerable.
Did you guys choose David Campbell? What was that?
You guys chose David Campbell to work. That's all it said.
Yeah, to work. Yeah.
Okay, let's
we
turn that
did
into a
choose David
question.
Campbell, and he also chose us.
David
It's
is
a
awesome.
collaboration.
He's Oscar award-winning composer, but we knew him because we had worked with him on Middle of Nowhere. We worked with him on This Time Around, and it was somebody that not only we had great respect for the work he'd done with us, he'd also done amazing work for other people, and so he was
Willie
just
Nelson, Paul McCartney.
he was kind of the first person on our list, and thankfully he wanted to do it. He was up for the idea of doing such a big project of 23 songs, and so we loved it. It turned out really good.
Turned out really good.
Okay.
Where did Johnny go? That's a great question.
One day I think people are going to realize that Yearbook is not really about where Johnny went.
That's a
It's
good
about
question.
how you feel about the fact that no one will tell you.
One of the questions was, did David have any input on the song selection? He did not have any specific input as far as he didn't suggest something that was completely not on the list. But once we submitted a much larger list initially, and sort of whittled it down, and then as we the very beginning, early conversations included a lot more singles.
Yeah.
And as we kind of chipped away at the story and the roadmap, we sat with him and said, "What do you think about this? Does this make sense?" And he definitely emphasized and the selections we were making, and gave a strong input on
the
on
composer-arranger relationship is sort of like the director-cinematographer relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cinematographer is very key to the way the film looks and feels and is making suggestions, but ultimately the direction and shot choice is coming down to the director. And so that's really the way that relationship works. David is giving lots of input, but
he's
it's
deciding
ultimately
the tint of the colors.
our story,
green,
and you're saying, David, we want it to feel this way or do this kind of a line, and he's coming back with his versions of those things. And we're really happy with how it turned out.
One of the other things too that why I think is really significant.
Will Middle of Nowhere ever get a vinyl release? Talk to UMG. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for saying something.
Well, no, the thing I was saying was that one of the kind of cool things about the process with David too was he would send in arrangements of these song ideas, and then in some cases we actually changed the structure of the songs based on some of the arrangement ideas that he presented, because we're like, wait, that's a really cool line. That's something we weren't even thinking of. Like I think about, like, for example, Got a Hold on Me. We did this big slowdown out of Tragic Symphony, bam, 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 and it was originally supposed to go into the what we call the Thieves and Liars riff, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, and then immediately go out of that into the song, but instead we actually put in some pauses and things based on the arrangement stuff that he did and extended it multiple bars to make more of the symphony stuff. And I mean, there's a bunch of things like that.
Somebody asked about Conductors, about the Houston conductor. It is cool to play with a lot of different conductors. Essentially, they're playing the orchestra, right? I'm playing the drums or the keys or guitar, but they play the orchestra, and it is really important. Like a great conductor, somebody who's really enjoying themselves, makes a big difference in the show, and you can tell when they're engaged in really understanding the music that they make the orchestra play better, which is
But on many of these shows we've had, in many of these shows we've actually have brought a conductor with us, and our maestro has been a conductor named Noah Luna, and he's been fabulous. He's worked with us on, almost 10 shows.
Yeah. Somebody said, do you think that cereal with milk is actually a kind of soup?
No. I don't think it's cereal with milk.
It's a cold soup.
It could be kind of
It kind of makes me gag when I think about soup.
I don't know of any soups that are milk based.
Cold
See,
soup.
that tells me something about how you like to eat your cereal. Soggy? That's disgusting.
Yes, satisfying.
I like it.
Soggy yet satisfying.
Will you ever re-record Middle of Nowhere? I think the short answer is no. The long answer is why. Which, interestingly, is just
one
letter longer. Will the Tulsa Symphony coincide with Hanson Day weekend? We hope to tell you the answer to that very soon. Stay tuned on HansonNet.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know what Hanson Day weekend is, it's a gathering of all of the Hanson.net fan community. All the members come in, and we do everything from special concerts to art gallery, photo galleries, all kinds of things, meet and greets.
Google it.
There's even karaoke.
Is there, somebody asked about the size of the symphony in St. Louis. It is true that some symphonies are smaller, different markets. Sometimes that's about the size of the stage, so the venues that are available, not all of them can fit, say, a 60-piece orchestra, and so technically we can scale it down to just about 25 people, and that's the smallest version that we can do, where you aren't losing any parts.
Yeah, exactly. Because the primary difference between orchestra sizes in most cases
doubling, right?
is basically doubling.
Tripling, quadrupling.
And so far we've done performances with symphonies as large as 66 pieces, and we've done them with 22. Believe it or not, it's a pretty wide range.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, I mean, one of the great things about working with David as a collaborator is his experience allowed him to really effectively design these arrangements so that they could be scaled down and they would still convey the sonic vision.
Are we coming to Canada?
We're going to Canada. We'll be in Toronto. You can check HNet for details. There's 2 shows in
We wish that we were
Toronto.
on the West Coast, but maybe there'll be some other shows on the West Coast. But for right now,
how about just a normal tour so you can be in more areas? That just sounds so sad. Like normal. Like, why not?
Why?
We will definitely play more Hanson, as we like to call them, rock shows.
Yeah.
But right now, obviously, the album just came out today, so we're focused on string theory shows. But there'll definitely be more of that. Even in Australia, the Australian tour, we have a couple dates that are just rock shows. The
In
European
Europe,
leg, there's a couple shows that are just rock shows. So, there's a mix, and there'll be time for lots more concerts soon. Will you guys come to Indonesia again? We would love to.
Yeah.
Summerfest 2019. Just let us know about that. We're hoping for a venue in Paris. So are we. Was hoping for a Christmas song in Chicago. Yeah, like do that again. Okay. You don't have to be 21 to meet us in a meet and greet. Did any symphonies say no? Most of them. It usually doesn't work like that where they say no. It's more of you become a part of the system where people know that you have a show that you can play with symphonies. And so
it's not like we literally went to every single symphony.
Will you please, mother? What is true is some shows we have been asked to do that we haven't been able to make happen, but that just has to do with routing tours and things. And so maybe places like Detroit or I'm trying to think about the places where fans have asked us to come. And maybe that'll happen in the future. I think there's definitely a possibility of that.
I think there'll be probably a smattering as we're seeing already into 2019. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, as we hear the Christmas season and fans asking about Christmas and will we do more, I think symphony shows could end up being like Christmas shows. It's something you just kind of do a little bit of each year, and we don't exactly know the future of that. But
one question was about what made us decide to switch leads on myself and I.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the reasons that the lead switch was important is because we were really trying to tell more of a story with the project, and the song obviously has a narrative, and we discussed doing this lead switch back when we first recorded it. Just didn't end up doing it, and once we got to that point, it just felt like the idea of each person singing those phrases, those verses allowed you to develop the story.
I would say too, like with me, myself, and I on the original recording, it was deliberately like this has got to be deeply intimate and personal. But in this string theory version, it's about that narrative element even more, and so it made more sense that you would kind of draw out the fact that this could be sung from multiple different perspectives.
Yeah, well, it's also, there's a little bit of a shift right at that point in the show. There's next couple songs where you begin to develop this we voice through songs like You Can't Stop Us, through the transition into more of the fighting, the battle cry of the second half of the show. And so I think it seemed like it was right to call attention to the three voices in the context of the show. I think we're done.
I think we're done now.
I hope you guys enjoyed the craziness of us doing this live chat. Hopefully we'll do a little more of this as this technology allows us to do crazy things.
Yes. Like putting dog faces on your faces.
We are really excited to share the music with you guys live for the rest of the String Theory shows this year, and thank you guys so much for those that have come out and seen us throughout this year. Today, String Theory, it's out. If you don't already have it, now you can get it.
Also, another thing that I would think is important to say, we've gotten a bunch of questions, even though not all of them have shown up here, but about like things like the documentary that we have on Hanson.net. A lot of folks have asked about like the making of String Theory in the context of the docuseries we've been putting on YouTube. And while there are portions of the docuseries that are from the actual documentary,
mostly the performances.
Yeah, the performances. The actual documentary is much more in depth and really explains a lot more.
It's more of a
what's
story.
going on.
So yeah, if you've watched the YouTube clips online, the documentary that is sold on Hanson.net is definitely a different thing.
Much bigger.
It focuses more on the glue between the songs and sort of the process of coming together to make the project.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys sometime next time in Boston tomorrow, in Philly, New York, Toronto, maybe in Australia. Maybe in the European tour.
In Fort Worth.
Actually, there's a lot of places you could see us. Okay, bye.